Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm the Nomad, and this is my life. And today in my life, I am going to be doing a page out of this art prompt book by Moriah Elizabeth. And me. I'll be doing this as a series. I will not be doing them in order in the book, but I will post them in the order in which I completed them. The first prompt I'll be doing is the prompt that tells us to create letters. We're not meant to use the letters to create words, but to instead use them as a way to create something visually pleasing. I've mostly seen people choose to do a bunch of random letters placed around the page, which I do think looks nice, but for my design, I wanted to use the letters to create different food objects. Because I'm an absolute beginner when it comes to doing artwork, I went ahead and did all of my sketching off camera and got that done, made sure that it was nice and light. Now I'm going in and just doing the line work on camera because it's so much faster. It really took me a ridiculous amount of time just to sketch out these very simple designs. And now I'm just going through and erasing all of my pencil markings very, very lightly. I want to leave just enough of the markings behind so that I can use those as guides for coloring in my items. My slice of pizza here is comprised of a V for the outline of the main shape, and then it is covered with little O's and I's as the pepperonis and slices of bell pepper. Now I'm coloring in my bonbons, which if you could not tell, if you turn your head to the side, you'll be able to see that together the two bonbons form a B. After I finished with my bonbons, I moved on to my snow cone and tried to do some shading in the A, which makes up the cone, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I erased it. Then I moved into coloring in the C, which makes up the top of the snow cone. I tried to do sort of a gradient so it looked darker on the outside and went lighter toward the middle, like a snow cone with syrup being poured on it. I'm not really sure how successful that was. I'm sure some of you have noticed that the snow cone wrapper is suddenly colored in pink. Sorry, I didn't realize that my camera cut out and it didn't get recorded. I think it's pretty obvious now that the two O's that I drew over here are meant to make up the shape of a donut. As I'm working on the frosting and the shading, I'm being very careful to leave little spots open for sprinkles later because, who wants a donut without sprinkles? Considering that I've always been terrible at coloring and have never had any success with blending colored pencils or making anything look halfway decent, I'm actually really, really thrilled with the way that this donut turned out. I think it turned out so pretty. I love sprinkles. They're like colorful, edible confetti. I must confess, I was inordinately proud of myself for coming up with the idea of using a candy cane with a little broken tip to make a dotted lowercase j. This little mint chocolate chip ice cream cone is made up of 3 separate letters. The D forms the scoop of ice cream. There is a little Q that forms the cherry, and the cone is made up of a V. Can you tell what the X is made up of before it's colored? You've got to be able to tell by now, right? I am honestly extremely pleased with the way that bacon turned out. I think it looks so good, especially using the dark brown to give it that slightly crispy look. This S was one of the first of the letters that I sketched out. As soon as I got this idea into my head, I knew that I had to do an S made out of a sour rainbow strip. And I did look up the references so that I could make sure that I was matching these colors as closely as possible to the actual candy. Now I'm just using some regular acrylic paint to fill in the background because I think that it looks nice. And I started off with this awkward thick brush, but it was really a pain to get around, so I finally switched it out with this much better brush that has a finer tip, and it made it much easier to get that all painted. And I also made sure to leave the prompt clear because I like to be able to see the prompt so that I can always remember what inspired the artwork. This blank page that I'm using between the book pages is just to protect them from any stray paint that, doesn't want to be cooperative. For the background behind the letters that make up the word letters, I found a colored pencil that matched the acrylic paint color almost exactly and just went and carefully filled that all in. And then I colored in the letters to look sort of like chocolate-covered cookies. I have no idea why the video suddenly looks so clouded and almost milky. Weird. Now I'm just going back with my lining pen and going back over all of the lines of the letters. Now all I am outlining is the letters themselves that make up the food. I'm not outlining any of the inner details. I want the letters themselves to stand out. Which is truly a bit of a shame where the donut's concerned. I actually would have really loved to have left that with just the soft line work because I think it was prettier. But as I said, I really did want the letters to stand out since that is the whole prompt. At this point, I took my Posca pens and I went in all over the pages and wrote in a bunch of little letters in lower and uppercase so that they would kind of be like little sprinkles. Just trying to fix a few little mistakes. I think it turned out pretty cute, actually. And then I just added a few little sprinkles to those chocolatey cookie letters that I did. Now I'm going to use Mod Podge to carefully go over each color to make them nice and sticky so that I can then go through with this lovely glitter that I have, because rainbow sour strips are sparkly. And I love any excuse to add sparkles to anything, to be perfectly honest. Besides, I just so happened to have these wonderful sparkly little glitter tubes that happen to have the exact colors inside of them that I needed. After pouring on the glitter, I like to use the paintbrush just to sort of press it into place to help it to adhere a little bit better. Oh my gosh, I love how sparkly it is. And this is where I moved on to attempting to add some glitter to the snow cone because, ice is sparkly or some crap. I don't know what I was thinking, because I really wound up regretting that. However, I love these little shine spots. I think they're pretty and give it some real pop. Once my design was finished, I went over it with a full coat of Mod Podge, matte, not glossy, so that it doesn't stick, to protect my artwork. I absolutely loved working on this page, and I hope that you enjoyed watching me work on it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. If you're interested, you can also go check out my narration channel, Nomad's Land Studios. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!